What is up, YouTube? Johnny B here again today, and it is a Monday. It's another auction day, but I bought a couple cars last week and I just got back in town. Monday is the last day I can pick them up without having to pay for a service fee. So here I am picking up a car that you guys probably saw on Instagram if you guys are following me on there. I posted up a car that I bought for $25. Like, imagine that. Like, this is the first time I've ever done that. It's funny because I've been hanging out with a bunch of family and friends, and you know, over the holiday weekends where we just went out of town because everybody was out on vacation, and everybody was just cracking up when they found out when I would show them that I bought a 2023 Subaru Brz Limited for 25 bucks on a bid, which was pretty funny, you know. And then I would tell them it was a little bit burned, and it's a burned car, so it's pretty bad. But I'm here today to pick it up and see what we can salvage off of the car. My hopes are that the engine is good, that we could just clean it up, remove everything from it, and the block is at least good, because with that block we can put, if the heads are melted, I have heads, I have everything else, I have the timing cover, all that stuff, and you can essentially build an FA24 and put it into an FA20 car and have a stroker motor in it, basically, that makes a lot more power. If we can get the heads with it, it'd be perfect, you know. But just the block alone, I'm sure, is worth quite a bit of money. I know in the older gens the block is worth like $2,000. I don't know what they are from Subaru. If I had to guess, maybe like around $4,000, because I know on the used market a full engine from a newer gen or from a second gen car, they are around $8,000, like $6,000 to $8,000. So buying this car for 25 bucks means that I have the opportunity to find out if this engine's good. And if not, we have the cats. We can sell both cats for like around 300 bucks, maybe a little less now. Prices went down. And then we could just scrap the rest of the car, all the metal, and probably make like 300 bucks. So I won't be losing money, and it's just kind of like I get to see if I can find a diamond in the rough hidden under all that burn, you know. So let me show you guys the receipt. It's kind of funny to see it. Here it is, 2023 Subaru Brz, bid amount 25 bucks. The buyer fee was the same as the bid amount, and then the service fee was 100 bucks basically, and 15 bucks. So total ended up being 160 bucks for the car. But there you go, proof that I won the bid at 25 bucks. We can put it on top. So here is the burn car. Oh, that's good. Oh. Hook it. So here's the car. You guys are seeing it with me for the first time. Poor tires got destroyed. The wheel looks fine, actually. Funny enough. So the fire might have started up in front first. Oh, it was a manual car, which means I have another transmission. Very nice. I'm hoping the transmission survived as well. There's one of the wheels. The roof got completely melted. So the funny thing about these cars is that they have an aluminum roof now, a hood, and fenders. So aluminum likes to melt, whereas steel doesn't at that temperature. So that's why the roof is missing, because it just melted away. That's funny. Oh look, you can see it's just gonna be cool to like see everything. That's the battery. That's the AC radiators inside, heater core and whatnot. Let's look at the engine. Look at the alternator, it's just chilling right there. That's hilarious. Alternator fell down. So it looks like the timing cover melted for sure. The crank seems to be in the proper place. This is the oil fill port. The engine seems to be intact. You can see, what is this? Parts of the roof, parts of the hood. You can see the injectors right there. Those are your port injectors that go into the plastic intake manifold. Oh, this is hilarious. These are the little line fittings that go on this. Look right here. This is the throttle body. That's what it was. The clamp for the hose. Dang, this bolt just melted. This is where the alternator sits normally. From the looks of it, the engine looks fine. The transmission looks fine as well. This is the line obviously melted off of this because that's rubber booster. But engine and trans seem to be good. I don't see any actual melted spots on the engine itself other than the timing cover, but that's just the easily removable piece. Everything else looks good. This will be a nice little fun project to clean up and kind of get out of the car. It almost looks, I thought it just caught on fire, but it looks like it was in an accident. Looks like the accident caused the fire. Huh. Because that arm is bent. That arm should be good. That frame should be good. So here it is home. So this is what it looks like. And that's what it should look like. Just noticed that the rear, oh, it looks like they cut the rear. I was like, it looked like it split, but it looks like they cut it open. All right, time to start parting this thing out. So let me show you guys what it looks like underneath. Here we have the header, oil pan. This is where the cat is right here. Looks good. Then we have the exhaust going in the back. There's like a cat slash filter here. And then everything else that way. The transmission looks fine. Didn't look to be melted. I'm wondering how it would be inside, but the transmission is in one piece. All of the rubber stuff got melted away. And there is oil on the transmission here, so I wonder if the seals kind of got messed up. Obviously the engine itself looks fine, but the valve covers are aluminum, so those melted away a lot easier than the actual heads did. So you can actually see the exposed camshafts, so the heads might not be good, but it's looking like the block is whatever if they might be or not, doesn't really matter, because I'm going to just take out the whole drivetrain and whatever bolts and nuts I need, and then we're just going to go ahead and toss the car away. I do want to remove the diff. You can see the diff back there. It's actually on the ground. I want to keep the diff because I think the diff might be good. And these might just need a cleaning. This doesn't even look that crazy. So exhaust stuff is all meant to be like super hot anyways. Same with the engine and transmission. And since they have oil in them, they can typically take a lot of temperature, because the oil inside them will kind of keep them cooler. So yeah, that's how it looks like under here. I got it on some jack stands, so I can be under here unbolting everything, unbolting the engine, so we can just pull the whole drivetrain out in one go. I wanted to remove this front pipe first, so I got it unbolted there. That would just be easier to remove everything. And then I just gotta unbolt the transmission there. It should drop down, but before that I gotta remove the shifter just to make sure the shifter is not in the way, and then we can pull everything out. So one of the benefits of having a car that's been burned down is that you can access everything super easily. I didn't have to remove any of the interior trim just to be able to remove the shifter, and I can get to that clip super easy because part of the shifter also melted, so it lets me bring it up to access that. Oh, here's the touchscreen, but let's get that off, and then I should be able to pull everything out, because with this here it'll definitely be in the way. I was looking around and I just saw this right now. Here's the pull it back. Yeah. Funny enough, the rubber is still good. I mean, they're designed to hold heat, so it's still like perfectly. This is probably like the only rubber piece in the whole car that still survived, because check out the control arm. There's no rubber there, and this is pretty cool. Nice solid piece of aluminum here. So I got the back end of the car up, and I go to grab the exhaust and it just comes right out, because obviously all the rubber from that is all destroyed. So that just pulled right out. This wheel did not survive. It's got a big old damage there, so that wheel's no good. The wheel on the other side actually survived, so there was less heat on that side of the car. Under here, I'm trying to remove the axle so I can get the diff out, because the diff is like perfect. No issues whatsoever on the diff. It didn't even get like melted at all. The bushings around it just got completely disintegrated, but like the bushings that hold the front part of the diff, nothing happened to those, so there wasn't even any heat applied to them in that section. So I'm going to try to remove that. Probably take a couple of these suspension bolts, because they're always needed to look, and they still have their coating on them back here. You can see how the bushings came straight out of the rear subframe. I'm debating whether or not to actually save the subframe, because as you guys know, when you want to put solid bushings and everything, you got to burn out the rubbers anyways, and these are already burned out. So maybe it'll make it more simple for someone that wants to go all track car on their car, and you know, easily removable. Might just leave the rest of it on there though, because none of these arms are going to be any good anymore, because every single one of them takes a bushing, like the bottom of the strut. This bushing's shot, all of that, everything just moves in place, you know. So all that's trash. The best I could do here is save the bolts. The axles might be good. I'm just gonna need new boots for them, so I might just keep those with the diff, and then see what else I can scavenge. But I think the subframe is gonna be good. That'll survive. It still has its black coating on it, so the fire didn't really get to it that bad. It just kind of melted the rubber bushings, but those rubbers, you know, they disintegrate with a little bit of heat anyways. And since they're mounted straight to the car, the hottest part was like on top here, which is where it was transferring heat through the bolt, which most likely melted the bushings, which is why they're like that. But enough rambling. Let's get this diff and subframe out, and then I can go dump this car. So I got the subframe out. Subframe looks good. Diff looks good as well. Some melted plastic on the diff, but these bushings are still good. The axles seem like they have survived because of the grease, so I'll probably just clean them up and put some new boots on there. This will be some good axles. These axles are $1,000 from the dealership, and I know it looks pretty bad, but this isn't enough to actually damage these parts, especially the diff, since it didn't even get actual burns, and it's full of oil on the inside. So now, while that's out, time to get the engine and trans out. So the engine has a lot of burns on it. You can see the cams, so the heads are probably going to be bad, but the block is most likely still good from what I've seen up top, which is where the main burn was occurring. So it looks like to me that it got in an accident here. You see the side is kind of smashed up, wheels missing, and that must have hit here, which is where all the fuel lines are at. The fuel line popped off, the car was super hot, and then it just kind of caught on fire from there. So really unfortunate for a 2023 BRZ to go out like this, but for 25 bucks I'm gonna make the most out of it, and then just go dump it so I can make more cars with the salvaged metal. All right, engine's out, got it over there, and let's go dump this at the metal place before they close. So we're here at the place. Gotta get on that scale there so they can weigh me. And then clean this off and then get back on the scale. go. Awesome. I just gotta clean up the trailer. So there it is, the 2023 BRZ. Sit here for a little bit until they crush it, put it into piles like that, melt it down, and make new metals. So very nice. Goodbye, my 4th BRZ. On to the next one. We went from 9,000 pounds to 7,740. I forget how much exactly it was, but it'll tell me in the paper right now. I'll show you guys. So here it is. Now I gotta drive down to the office, but 121 bucks. 94.80 to 74.40.